All right, everyone, we're back, and as you can see, we do have dinos again. So this time they're a little bit worse, and they are on the sand, as you can see. So a little bit better for you guys, a little bit worse for me, but I have a plan in place, and I'm going to go over that shortly. But I just wanted to show you guys how bad it was, so that we're ending off the year in this kind of state. And then by the time, I'm hoping within 7 to 8 days, by the time the next video comes out, we'll start off the New Year's with a clean, dino-free tank. So stay tuned for that. And I just want to say thank you for all the subscribers. We did finally reach over 100. I believe we're at 103 today. So that is awesome. And thank you guys for all the support. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, because I am going to continue to create and post as many videos as I can with how-tos or just tank updates and reviews. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move into number one, what I'm going to do to fight these dinos, and then number two, some of the products that I got to fight them as well. So I'll see you guys in that. All right, so we're over here at the review table, and this is from Top Shelf Aquatics. I just got this in today. This is the dry portion of the shipment, which it kind of sucks that they do two separate shipments, because when you order a certain amount, you can get free shipping, but it has to be a certain amount of live goods and dry goods. They separate that. So even if you break that threshold of, I believe it's like $2.99 or something like that for free shipping, it has to be within live goods by itself. So that's pretty easy if you're buying coral, but for me, I wasn't really getting too much stuff like that. So that was something that's kind of unfortunate, but I did go ahead and get some more seaweed for the tangs, and this seems a little bit more premium, you know, that's what it says. So, but it does seem a little bit better than the other sheets that I had, and I'm kind of running low on that. And so to get the dry goods shipping free, I just added this in the cart. And then I went ahead and got this as well, which is just a bubbler. So it plugs in, it has a plug, but it's a battery operated. And the reason that you're plugging it in is because when the power goes out, this thing is going to recognize it because it's connected to power. And then it's going to turn to batteries, and it'll last as long as the batteries will. However, when it's plugged in, it's not constantly going. So that is a good thing, because you don't want a bunch of micro bubbles in your tank. But you will want those micro bubbles if your power goes out. So that's the plus side with this. And I already know that this isn't enough for my tank. I would like to have like 2, maybe 3. 3 would probably be a bit much just for the money wise. I wouldn't want to get 3, but I'll probably get another one in the future, especially if I do another order. And I am pretty happy with the stuff I got. So I got these for the dinos, and not like specifically to fight them, but to kind of just help out. So what these are just biospheres. I talked about it one time. in my videos, and then someone even commented and said that would be a good idea. Now, I was going to put it in the media caddy, and that would be great. That would be great, but I'm not going to put that in the media caddy, only because I'm going to go ahead and put this in the second chamber, which is pretty much empty. Yeah, it's pretty much empty. So I checked it, and it does fit, so that's great. And this is the ice cap. Sorry, move this out of the way. This is the ice cap biosphere media tower, and it's gonna, I'll show you guys in a second, but basically they're rings, and they have they're spheres, and they have little holes that you could put through, and they're gonna go on there, and it says it holds about 45, which is actually perfect because this comes with 40. So that worked out really good for me. And let's go ahead and open this for you guys so you can see what you're getting in here. These two products actually were relatively cheap, and if you're starting any like SR-60 and above, and you have an all-in-one tank, this is the answer, because this fits perfectly as far as dimensions. And I believe the 60, 80, and 120 are all the same dimensions for the back, but don't quote me on that. So this comes with the bag, and you can put all of them in the bag. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead, and unfortunately, mine was kind of just sent like this. That kind of sucks, but I'll show you in a second. It's already opened, and so the bag, they just kind of fall out of the bag, but hopefully that doesn't happen to you guys. So this is what I was talking about, and they're just super porous where a lot of bacteria can get into, and I'll get into that in a second, but I just wanted to show how they work. So this will go onto here, and we'll put that right there, and it comes with plenty to fill this up, and we'll put it in the second chamber like I said. Now, moving on from there, because we will put all those there. That's why I have this right here filled with salt water. And my plan to kind of combat these dinos was just like last time we used the Microbacter 7. I'm going to continue to dose this. It's a huge bottle, so I have plenty for that. But my plan is to soak these in the water for a couple days, which is what it says, to kind of seed it with that bacteria. So I'm going to put this in here, and then I'm going to add a little bit more than necessary probably, but I'm just going to kind of completely get these seeded is what it's called. So I'm going to rinse these off as well, but what I want to do is just soak it in there for a couple of days, and then I did end up getting the Vibrant in the mail as well. So this will be the final step. One of the steps I didn't go over last time, and I will kind of get into every single step one by one, but one of the steps I didn't go over last time was the filter floss. So I did go pretty heavy on filter floss for a couple days before the dinos went away, and I was just removing with a turkey baster physically. I would blow off it wasn't even on the sand last time, but I would blow it off with the turkey baster, and then I would catch it with the pillow fill. And then from the pillow fill, I would take that out immediately, and then we would know that those dinos are gone. So I'll get into that in a second, just bear with me. Okay, so we're back, and we have all of the spheres on this little tray. So they're both made by Ice Cap, and you can see that they definitely had this in mind when they were making the spheres. I just want to say that I had never seen a product like this before. If you guys have, let me know in the comments, but this is going to be a first for me, and this is kind of answered all of my questions, or all of my needs is what it meant really. Was I didn't want to have the spheres just kind of collected all into a mesh bag, and then the water's not flowing through. But as you can see in here, the water can still go in that back chamber and flow through perfectly to where it's not just kind of like sitting clumped up in one area. That was my biggest concern. I might be overthinking it a little bit on that, but I do know in some form or fashion, I want some kind of flow through there. It might not be a tremendous amount of flow, but that's okay, because I'd rather be flowing than just stagnant. So that's my thought process on it, and this kind of answered the question for that. And with that being said, I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and move into the steps. So I got 5 steps here that I'm gonna try, and I hope that you guys can see the results and hopefully copy and maybe get something similar to this depending on what kind of dinos you have. But moving on, we're going to go to step 1, which is going to be no lights. That's pretty obvious and very effective, but I know there's going to be people who have corals already, and they're going to be scared that their corals will die. But unfortunately, these dinos can attack the corals regardless, and the fish. So I think the dinos kind of take priority with the light situation and killing your lights. That's probably going to be your best bet, in my opinion. So worst case scenario, you set up a little 10, 20-gallon tank, put on a little cheap Nicrew light. I have that as well, and that's exactly what it's for too, just kind of sitting in the background. My light did break the actual tank, so now I'm just kind of stuck where I don't really have a backup tank yet, but I'm going to get something real small for that so I can put coral into there if need be. Number 2 is going to be physical removal, and what I mean by that is just going to be taking this turkey baster and blowing the water or air, whatever, into the rocks, the crevices, the sand, and we're going to blow all of the dinos off the physical layer. We're going to blow that off, and then we're going to catch it with this stuff, the pillow fill from before. So all the little, not all of it, but a good amount of it will get caught. That stringy stuff is going to get caught in there, and I'm going to immediately take it out, put it into here like you guys have seen before, and then I'm just going to throw that away. And I'm going to do that at night, specifically right before the lights go out. Well, the lights will be out, but I'm going to do that at night and at day. I'm not going to cover the tank with a blanket. I know a bunch of people do that. That's not going to be what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave all the ambient light in the room. I'm not going to worry about it that much, but because I have so many steps that are going to be taken over this. And then this would, I would say, step 3 is probably going to be one of the most important steps, which is going to be the bacteria, because we have some kind of bacteria issue. So we are going to have this Microbacter 7. That was already, happening last time, but now we're seeding it into here where there's so much more room for it to grow and kind of take over. Being that the lights are off, it's not fighting with the dinos, and this will be in a shaded, not lit area in the back of the tank in that chamber. So that's going to be, I think, super beneficial for that. And then step 4, which hasn't even come in yet, and I honestly think I'll document this for sure this time, but I do think without even putting the UV sterilizer with just these 3 steps, we'll probably get rid of most of the dinos. But this UV sterilizer, in my opinion, is probably going to knock it out of the park, where it just won't come back anymore because they won't be able to reproduce. And then step 5 is going to be Vibrant, which I think will be another kind of just knock out, clean the tank, really, I know this stuff is super strong, so I'm going to follow this to a T on the directions and maybe even a little bit lower. But I think this will just kind of be the whole package where, you know, we just knock out everything. There's no more dynos anymore, and we don't have to worry about it down the road. So let me know your thoughts if you've done anything like this. And then I just want to get this out of the way too, before someone gets in the comments and hopefully they get to this point and say, hey, you know, you're copying that other guy. I've seen 2, 3, 4, 5 videos with this exact same approach, but this is just my anecdotal like experience, and I want you guys to be able to follow along and see that there is more proof to this method. And I don't know if anyone can coin this and say, hey, this is I came up with that first, so I'm gonna let that be known. This is not my method personally. I've got this from a couple different people, and you know, there's little things like, you know, turkey baster. I didn't see anyone saying that, but it's just something that I added in there, but it's definitely not my own. So just a quick disclaimer, I wanted to get that out of the way before someone attacks me in the comments for stealing this. And overall, this is the situation we're at. I'll see you guys next year. Happy New Year's, and thank you so much for watching, and all the people who are liking, commenting, subscribing. I really appreciate that. So I will catch you guys next year.